I want to acknowledge the very best congressman, one of the best partners I could possibly hope for, a brilliant leader and a great friend, Barney Frank. Appreciate you. Senator Cream just had to leave. I met her on the way in, but when the comment was made about the progress we're making on the gun bill and on Corey reform, you need to know Senator Cream has been a leader in this fight for years, and we are closer to delivering on some of those initiatives than ever before. So help us, please. And congratulations to Senator Cream, and thank you. I saw Frank Smisek. Frank, great to see you, and thank you for your partnership. Jeff Sanchez is here. Jeff, fabulous partner as well. I saw Councilor Devaney on the way out. Who am I missing? It's always a hazard when you start down this path. You're going to lose someone else. Well, thank you all. Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry to be late. I was out in Springfield earlier to kick off the resumption of American Legion baseball in Springfield, and to acknowledge a team from the post 21, I think it was, that left Springfield in 1976. 76 years ago, in whatever that was, to play in the American Legion World Series down in North Carolina. And they got down there, and they had one player, because they had organized the team from the local schools, they had one player, a pitcher, who was African American. And when they got down there, the hotel wouldn't let them stay in the hotel, and there was enough protest that they wouldn't let them play. And so the team organized to make a decision. And those young people, ages 14, 15, and 16, said, we came down here as a team, we play as a team, or we don't play at all. And so they were not permitted to play because they wouldn't leave their black pitcher out, and went home. And all of the records of that were dropped from the American Legion history books. Well, 2 teams survived, and the family members of the black pitcher were there today, and we had an opportunity today to present them championship rings and to honor their example. So I apologize for being late, but I was glad to be there. And I am also glad to be with all of you, particularly at a time when you and I know we have a lot of work to do. Cynthia, I thank you for the introduction and the way you introduced, because as somebody said down there, I don't like to brag. I've told this story to some of you before. When the president was here in the fall, I went out to the airport to meet him. And we were riding back in, and he asked me how I was feeling about the coming campaign. And I said to him then, I like campaigning, and I was looking forward to it. And all of you who have been involved in campaigns before and around candidates, you know that when candidates say they like campaigning, usually they're lying. But I like it. I like being out. I like being with people. I haven't waited for the election season to be out. I think you better be out, because policy only matters at the point where it touches people. So you better be out. But as I said to him then, Mr. President, there are 2 things I don't like about campaigning. One is asking people for money, especially when they don't have much of it. And the other is the bragging. And the president looked me in the eye and he said, Deval, he said, get over it. So I'm over it. I'm over it. I thank you, because, you know, as hard as the times are, hardship is not our only reality. It's not our only reality. Yes, we've been dealing with billions of dollars in budget gaps, thanks to this terrible, terrible economy, the worst in living memory. It is, in its own way, a version of what you and your neighbors and everyone else has been dealing with. Reductions and limits and wages and savings and home value and retirement accounts, and it's done a number on our confidence as well. But working with the legislature, we have stepped up to the very hard decisions that had to be made and closed the budget gap, and delivered 3 budgets now that were responsible, balanced, and on time. Not something many other states can say. Our AA bond rating has been reaffirmed by all of the independent rating agencies. Again, not something many other states can say. And meanwhile, we've continued to govern. We are first in the nation 3 years running in student achievement. First in the nation in healthcare coverage for our residents. First in the nation in veteran services. First in the nation in clean and alternative energy policy, particularly energy efficiency, where we stepped ahead of California, which has been showing leadership for a long, long time. And none of that is by accident. None of it. It's because we know if we get those and a few other areas right, the Commonwealth will be strong for a long, long time. We've stepped up to some big, old, hard issues. Things that you've been worried about and folks have been fussing about for a long time about the way your business is done on Beacon Hill. And that's how we ended abuse in the state pension system and tightened the ethics and lobbying rules. It's how we simplified the transportation network, shut down the Turnpike Authority, and that saved you $250 million already. There's civilian flaggers working at state construction sites today. Your auto insurance rates have come down because we introduced competition and also 11 new companies and hundreds of new jobs. And of all of the reforms, education reform is the one I'm proudest of. Because for 17 years, while we've been on this path of trying to improve the public schools, we have for that whole time had a persistent achievement gap. And stuck in that gap are poor children and children with special needs or who speak English as a second language. More often than not, children of color. And that is an educational and an economic issue, you know that. But to let it go for 17 years, that's a moral question. Those are our children too. And now we have some tools to be able to reach that part of our Commonwealth-wide family. We are today investing more money in fixing this broken infrastructure than ever before in the history of the Commonwealth, up to and including the Big Dig. The difference is that it's spread around the whole of the Commonwealth. I guess the other difference is you actually know what we are spending today. And so there are road, rail, and bridge projects. There's broadband expansion. There's public and affordable housing investment. There's open space preservation, some 54,000 acres in the last 18 months. Recreational facilities we're investing in. College and university campuses we are fixing up. All of it creating jobs right now, but also economic value and quality of life out for a long, long time. And one other thing that didn't happen by accident, you can marry anyone you love here in this Commonwealth. I'm very proud of it. That says something I think also about our values.